And then the second time was after my daughter was born. I didn't have an immediate as soon as she was born, I had this like grand awakening type of thing, but it was kind of like the circle back. I would find myself in situations that I used to be in, and I was like, oh, I don't feel the same way anymore.
Mm,
I don't feel I don't like the way this makes me feel anymore. I felt that weight of responsibility after she was born, and like I said, it's not just about me anymore. This isn't
yeah,
just my journey in life. I am now responsible for raising this other human being, and I don't know how to do that. So I got to figure this out, man. I gotta really, like I said, then I really started was like, all right, I need to start planning for my future. I need to start planning for her future. I need to start making sure that I'm not screwing up anymore because I can lose this little one if I screw up big again. I had a few times in my life where I messed up and got myself into some trouble. And then, like I said, circling back was like, all right, I can't do that anymore. I can't afford to get into trouble anymore.
yeah,
So it was really buckling down, taking myself more serious than anything. Like I said, I would just kind of blissfully go through this world, didn't take myself serious, didn't really take anybody else serious. And yeah, after she was born, it was definitely a big eye opener for me. It was like, all right, time to buckle down, man. You got to start straightening yourself out here. And yeah, so ever since then, it's been just a hyper focus of mine. It was like, all right, I'm gonna screw up, but I'll never screw up the way that I used to.
mm,
And I need to figure out, if I do mess up again, figure out why, because it wasn't intentional now.
yeah.
So figure out what happened and make sure that, like I said, I course correct so that way it doesn't happen again.
Mm. So as I'm having this amazing conversation with you, and you've grown so much as a husband, as a father, just a man in general. But as they say, that cliche, behind every great man is a great woman, right? So
Mm.
I wanted to ask you, how has your wife played? What role has she played in your life to help you be the father, the husband, the man that you have become? Because I know she had to deal with some of the nonsense as well, of course.
Yeah, yeah, big time. So as we were saying before we started recording, I let you know that I have a stepson. So her already being a parent when we met definitely helped me get ready for the role. And my wife is a big she's my balance. When I'm tilting too far one direction, she's good at pulling me back in the other direction and keeping me straight. So, yeah, we're a good team. We have great communication, and that's where a lot of that stemmed from. Was I didn't have good communication before her. I would have liked to have said that I did, but I really didn't. It was very one-sided for me. It was a one-way road. I needed to let you know how I felt, and that would be just this flood of this is where I'm coming from type of thing without being ready to receive the other side of it. And kind of the same thing for her. It was a lot of where she was coming from and not really ready to receive the other side of it. So when we got together, something just kind of clicked, I guess, in between both of us individually, and we started accepting the other side of things, and it took a little bit to learn how to listen and to learn how to really apply what the other person's saying. They may not be 100% right, but from where they're coming from, they are. And so I feel that I'm right. Well, she feels that she's right too. And one of my favorite saying is, as thin as it is, even a piece of paper has two sides to it. And so trying to figure out, where I'm coming, or letting her know where I'm coming from, and then hearing where she's coming from, and then like I said, assessing the middle of that. All right, well, now that we have a better understanding of each other, how do we go forward from there? So yeah, she was definitely a big help, both directly and indirectly, keeping me in line, and then giving me the opportunity to help keep her in line too. And I don't mean that, that sounds kind of bad to say it like that, but just to help balance each other out like that. she's been a great partner in that aspect.